Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to figure out if a company is buying more office furniture than actual business. And boy oh boy do we have a good one today. As AI Corporation, a company you might know for its advanced battery technology, just dropped a bunch of news. So what did they get up to recently? Well, it looks like SES AI is making a significant move by acquiring a Chinese energy storage solutions provider called Shenzhen UZ Energy Co. Limited. This is a pretty big deal. They are paying about 183 million Chinese yuan for this company, which is roughly 25 million US dollars. Think of it as SES AI buying a new piece of the puzzle to grow their business, especially in China's energy market. This acquisition is expected to wrap up in the third quarter of this year. This UZ Energy company sounds like a pretty good fit. They are all about developing, integrating, and selling energy storage systems. This means they make the actual battery systems and know how to put them to work, serving both China and other countries. It's a way for SES AI to immediately expand its reach and capabilities. Now, let's talk about how they are paying for this. It's not just one lump sum, they are doing a mix. First, SES AI International will put 90 million yuan, about $12.5 million, into UZ Energy as a sort of investment for new UZ Energy shares. Then there's another 23.5 million yuan, around $3.2 million, to be paid to some UZ Energy shareholders. Adding to that, there's 10 million yuan, about $1.4 million, going to one of the founders, Ms. Xi, but this amount could go down if UZ Energy doesn't hit certain revenue targets for 2025. And there's a final chunk of 60 million yuan, about $8.3 million, also for some shareholders. This last payment is a bit of a gamble. It could go up or down depending on how well UZ Energy does in 2026, specifically with its revenue and how much cash it has. This is a smart move by SES AI. They are trying to make sure they pay a fair price and that the acquired company performs well after the deal. It's like saying, we'll pay you more if you hit these goals. Keep in mind, these deals don't always go through smoothly. There are conditions like getting approvals, making sure the deal terms are agreed upon by everyone, and that UZ Energy doesn't suddenly face a major problem before the deal is finalized. They have a deadline too. If the deal isn't done by the end of September, they can walk away. Now, SES AI also put out a press release announcing this acquisition, but that's not all. They also shared some very early, not yet official numbers for their second quarter results. These are just rough estimates, mind you. They haven't finished all their accounting work for the quarter yet, so the final numbers might change, maybe even quite a bit. Businesses do this to give investors a heads up about how things are going, but it's always best to wait for the official audited numbers. And, you know, when companies release these early numbers, they always add a disclaimer saying this information isn't official yet. They don't want to be held liable if the real numbers are way different later on. It's a standard practice, but it means we should treat these early figures with caution. Like most companies, SES AI also included a forward-looking statement section. This is basically them saying, we think this is what's going to happen, but a lot of things could go wrong. They talk about risks and uncertainties that could change their actual results. Things like not meeting closing conditions for deals or how the announcement of an acquisition might affect their business. It's their way of managing expectations and making sure people understand that the future isn't guaranteed. Looking at their stock, SES AI has its Class A common stock traded on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker SES. They also have warrants, which are like options to buy their stock, trading under SESWS. This tells us they are a publicly traded company, meaning a lot of people have a stake in their success. And the report is signed off by Jing Nealis, their chief financial officer. That's the person in charge of the company's money, so their name on the report adds a layer of official confirmation. Okay, let's digest this a bit strategically. SES AI is clearly focused on international expansion, particularly in China with this UZ Energy acquisition. This makes sense given China's massive push for renewable energy and battery technology. By acquiring UZ Energy, they aren't just buying assets, they are buying market access and expertise on the ground. The deal structure with performance-based payments is a smart way to mitigate risk. They are essentially betting on the future success of UZ Energy and aligning their payment with that success. This Warren Buffett style thinking of making sure the acquired company is a good long-term investment is really important. However, there are always risks. The dependence on revenue targets for some of the payments means that if UZ Energy stumbles, SES AI might not pay as much. but it also means the acquisition's full value might not be realized. Also, operating in China involves navigating different regulatory environments and political landscapes, which can be complex. The mention of preliminary financial results, even if not detailed here, suggests that investors should keep a close eye on how their core business is performing alongside these strategic acquisitions as well. Overall, SES AI seems to be making bold moves to secure its future in the growing energy storage market. The acquisition is a significant step, but its ultimate success will depend on how well UZ Energy integrates and performs. It's a high-stakes play that could pay off big if they execute it well. Alright, that's our breakdown of SES AI's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.